Rhode Island, the latest state to legalize the sale of medical marijuana. Now, similar legislation also under consideration in Delaware, Illinois, Iowa, New Hampshire, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. I mean, you got to wonder, is it about to start happening? Should it be a state or federal issue? Is everyone ready to light it up because states are hurting for tax dollars? Bruce Mirken is pro-legalizing pot. He's the director of communications for the Marijuana Policy Project. Terrence Farley is spokesman for the New Jersey Narcotic Enforcement Officers and the New Jersey Narcotic Task Force Commanders. Bruce, start us off here. This Rhode Island latest action. And then we've also got the Obama administration telling the feds in California to stop busting medical marijuana stores there because the state has approved it. What happens next? This is gaining some steam.
Well, what's significant in Rhode Island's action is this is the first state to ever expand an existing medical marijuana law to allow state-licensed medical marijuana dispensaries. What's interesting is they passed this over the governor's veto, and the override vote in the Rhode Island House of Representatives was unanimous. How often do you see that?
Yeah, hey, Terrence, hey, Terrence, what are they smoking over there in Rhode Island?
Obviously, they're smoking marijuana.
Go ahead. Why do you guys oppose it?
Well, we oppose it for a lot of reasons. Number one, there is no scientific evidence to back up the claims of the other side, what we call the legalizers. And the so-called legalizers are people like the Marijuana Policy Project and the Drug Policy Alliance that is funded by George Soros, who have been saying for years and years that medical marijuana is solely a red herring. Okay. So they can legalize marijuana throughout the United States.
But Terrence, sir, I mean, you say there's no evidence of medicinal pot value. Actually, I think there is. But second of all, where's all the evidence that says marijuana is going to kill you? I mean, like tens of millions of Americans smoke it and have tried it, and no one's died from it. So where's the evidence on your side, sir?
Well, nobody said it's going to kill you. What we say it's going to do is it's going to harm you. It has all kinds of adverse medical effects. The American Medical Association, and contrary to what the other side says, the Institute of Medicine report that they cite as favorable to them says while the cannabinoids in marijuana might be helpful, smoking marijuana has no future as a delivery system. If this were not smokable stuff and it were really for people who are really, really sick, you'd probably find no objection to it.
And meanwhile, Bruce, though, like cigarettes are legal, and they're killing 250,000 Americans a year. No problem there, though, right?
Well, the point is that nearly everything Mr. Farley just said is false. This so-called drug legalizer conspiracy of folks who believe that marijuana has medical value includes the American Public Health Association, the American College of Physicians, the American Nurses Association, the American Academy of HIV Medicine. I could fill up the rest of your show listing the medical organizations that believe that marijuana is a useful medicine. And the fact is that there are piles of peer-reviewed, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, state-of-the-art studies that show that this is true. And it's kind of sad to see drug war bureaucrats like Mr. Farley
Bruce,
just clinging to their ideology.
But, you know, Bruce, I think what bothers the people on Terrence's side of the argument is that, you know, you get this, they're probably worried that this is just an excuse so people can go out and, you know, smoke some bud. They can go to their doctor and say, hey, I'm a little anxious, and then they can smoke pot legally. Maybe that's the problem. Is that what bothers you, Terrence?
Well, that's part of it because we do have medicine to address all of these problems. There are numerous legitimate drugs, two of which actually contain compounds of marijuana to address these problems.
Wait, aren't you contradicting your earlier point, sir? Aren't you contradicting your earlier point when you said there's no medical evidence at all that it's helpful?
No, that's not what I said. I said there's no evidence that smoking marijuana is helpful. I said there's some future probably in cannabinoids, one of the 200 or so compounds found in marijuana.
Yeah, okay. Bruce?
Well, first of all, there are published peer-reviewed clinical trials of smoked marijuana, but in fact, most patients aren't smoking these days. They're vaporizing, which gives you all the advantages of inhalation, the fast action, the ease of dose control, without the tars and junk that's in smoke.
But you don't look nearly as cool when you do it. Do
But
you?
this is not
would
about
they
this is not
agree?
about being cool. This is about patients with cancer and AIDS and MS who suffer unbelievably. And contrary to what Mr. Farley said, conventional medicines often don't help these folks. Several of them are personal friends of mine.
Come on, Bruce. You know,
I've
Los
seen
Angeles,
this
Bruce,
firsthand.
Los Angeles has like 200 stores selling medical marijuana. You don't think a lot of people are kind of getting it as an excuse and they really don't need it medically?
Not in Rhode Island. The fact is California is unique. California has the most loosely written law. Let's talk about the other 12 states where it's much more strictly controlled.
Okay.
Let's
All
talk
right.
about
Let's not
Israel and
talk about
Canada,
it
which
'cause,
have national programs.
Right, let's not talk about it because I got to wrap. But I do love this story. You know, journalists like anything that's changing, and this is definitely changing a lot. Thank you very much for being with us, gentlemen.